Hello, happy Tuesday to you wherever you are. And today I'm talking about lack or abundance. So, scarcity versus abundance. And I think all of us live in lack. We have been brought up in a family or a society that's always telling us that we don't have enough, that we are not enough, that we need all of these things, products to be happier, to be better, to be prettier, to be weigh the right amount of weight. And we seem to internalize this lack, the story of lack, into our psyche. And one example is I grew up in a family where my dad had been very, very poor when he grew up, and my mum not as much. And when they got together, they both had jobs, and they were able to, buy their first car, buy their first house, and eventually, when I was a kid, my dad built. With his own hands, he was a builder. He built this amazing home that he designed, a big house out in the country, and he put his heart and soul into that. And the first time his mom, my grandma, came over to see the house, she was so uncomfortable. She was kind of holding her handbag, and she said to him, "Who do you think you are? This is not for us. We don't live here." And she refused to come back to the house. She never would come and visit. And we would always go and visit her. And it just hurt my dad so much, because he had worked so hard to build that house and to provide his family with a place to live, food, experiences. We were living a middle class life, and my grandma she cleaned houses, and she felt that she and he didn't deserve to have the kind of life that he had. And I realized that "who do you think you are" had lived in my mind, my psyche, all of my life. It was one of those quiet, almost silent voices that in the back of my mind stopped me from trying new things. It stopped me from being visible. It stopped me from saying what I think. It stopped me in so many ways that I didn't understand why I wasn't seeing in my life the happiness or the results or the money or the stuff that I wanted to see. And so I would think, well, there must be something wrong with me then. Who do you think you are? And I'm proud to say that I have dived into that inner work like my life depended on it, because truly my life did depend on it. I had such a hard time with depression for a number of years, for many years. And so I was diving into that inner work, that shadow work, and looking at what is living here in the shadow that I'm not seeing. What are the stories? What are the voices? What's going on that's contributing to feeling less than, that not good enough, and that story of lack. And I have healed so many stories. I mean, it was a daily practice looking at it, and because I work with energy and intuition and do psychic work, I was able to work at a really deep level, at the energy level, at the ancestral level, and really come at it from many different perspectives. And the reason that I knew it worked was that I showed up differently. People would notice I had different thoughts too. I was like, oh, I'm not beating myself up so much anymore. And when you can get hold of your story, get hold of the lack mentality, when you can find it and kind of hold it and shine some light on it, and then create a different story, one that is bigger, more empowering, that allows you to fully be expressed, then the way you become in the world is completely different. You become magnetic, abundance flows, creativity flows, and yeah, it's like maybe you'll go back to some of the default setting, but you don't have to live there. That doesn't have to be kind of the secret way of being pulled down into scarcity and and depression. It's like, oh no, there's that story again. Okay, I'm choosing to change it. And I know that I've healed dozens and dozens of ancestral patterns and stories because I've literally seen it happen. I've literally intended it to. And one of the results of that I've seen was when the amount of money that I was making as a healer. It would, one time, I was doing my books and I was like, oh my God, I've made thousands of dollars this month, and it would make me realize that somehow I was allowing myself to receive the abundance that I had been looking for. And abundance is in money, abundance in health, and I live in abundance. I already have so much abundance in my life that it's kind of overwhelming. I have an abundance of friends and home and relationships and family and wonderful clients, and I'm so grateful for all of that. And feeling grateful, being in the flow, being in alignment with abundance is one recipe for living that fully expressed life and staying out of lack. Okay, goodbye.